reports missing people.
Health officials have many believing this to be an airborne virus.
Please, let me in.
Please, stay home and stay safe.
We go back outside.
Run!
We all die.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2024 science fiction horror Trapped In. The film is written and directed by Leah Sturgis and it stars Matt Rife, Robert Palmer Watkins, Brian Gross, Gillian Moore and Oliver Trevina. Right, the film follows a cycling team who are heading off to a European location, France, to stay at a lodge. Their intention is to climatise, do lots of training, and get ready for a competition. However, the teammates start dying mysteriously, I suppose is the best way to describe it. And there is some strange things going on. The TV initially reports a serial killer, and then it reports some kind of virus worldwide. So they end up being trapped inside, not knowing how they're going to survive, and things just keep escalating from there. Right, what are my thoughts on Trapped In? Well, this is... I don't know whether it would see this as a compliment or a criticism, but it feels very much like a TV movie, this, in a lot of ways. There's a good layer of low budget slapped on, there's a good air of cheese slapped on, there's some dodgy accents slapped on, and a whole lot of exposition issues that the film has here and there, and it's got that vibe to it, if you like. It's very non-distinct, this film. It's kind of doesn't really know what to do with itself in regards to its own identity. There are moments where you feel like it's kind of copying The Mist a little bit, the Stephen King Mist thing, and then there's other times you're not sure if it's going down the Thing route, in a sense of, you know, they're trapped in a location and there's a lot of distrust setting in, and you know, they start, you know, going after each other, sort of thing, and it never really pulls a trigger on any of those things. It's an odd film, this, because it doesn't know what to do, and it confuses itself as it goes. It never settles on a cause or a plot device here. It just kind of keeps evolving, and I don't know if it's because it's trying to think it's clever, or I don't know if they just didn't know what to do with the story here. As I said, I mean, initially you've got these people, this cycling team and a few others at this lodge, and a news report comes on saying there's a serial killer roaming the hills, and you're like, okay, right, and then 15 minutes later there's another news report. Oh, it's not that, it's not a serial killer. In actual fact, it's a worldwide pandemic, basically, some kind of pandemic that's killing millions, sort of thing. So you're kind of like, oh, all right, and no serial killer then, so it's a pandemic now. And then later on in the film, the same news person, and by the way, this is supposed to be set in France, and other than two people at the beginning of the film that own the lodge that speak some dodgy French, there's no indication that this is France at all. But the news reports that are coming on the TV are all told by an English-speaking newscaster. This is supposed to be France, you know. If you know anything about French people, there's no way on earth they would do a news report in English with some American presenter. It ain't happening. This is the French. You'll either read the subtitles or that's it. You ain't going to understand what they're saying. So then you've got this news reporter coming on for the third time a bit later in the film saying, sorry, it's not a serial killer. It's not a pandemic. In actual fact, we're being invaded by aliens. I would suggest that news crew or that news team needs sacking because they're pretty shit at what they do. So it's like it just keeps evolving. It's like, oh, it's not that. It's this now. Oh, actually, it's not this. It's this now. So it kind of pivots heavily towards science fiction for the conclusion of the film. And yet by that point, you're just completely and utterly scratching your head. And then right at the end, you get massive exposition drops to try and explain what's gone on before. So if you've got a film that is doing like exposition drops through newscasts, and then you've got exposition drops from characters at the end of the film to try and explain what's gone on, and again newscasts, you've got a problem here because you clearly understand that your film makes no sense. So it's like a last ditch attempt to kind of make it make sense for you. And guess what? It didn't work. The film makes absolutely no sense. You know, pick a plot device and go with it. Is it science fiction? Okay, well let's go with that then. I can handle that, but make it make sense. And the film just doesn't make sense at all. It's got a pretty dull setup. Takes a good while to get going, and the characters here are not fun, and they're not. The dialogue isn't interesting enough for us to care about any of these characters. And until they start thinning the herd in a sense of characters dying off, some of the acting is questionable, to say the least. They can't even act drunk, some of them. It'd probably just been better just to let them have a drink and film that. It didn't work. So it kind of leaves you with the better actors by the end of the film, but by that point you've kind of seriously checked out, really, in regards to the film, because you just can't be arsed with the film. And then, again, you've got this pivot towards science fiction by the end, and then, again, another plot device it decides to kind of swerve at you. It feels like it's a half-assed attempt to do a movie about the issues or the warnings of AI. And I'm thinking, well, where's that come from? What's this got to do with AI? And the whole thing, from my perspective, just was very messy, very confused, an odd film. It wasn't tension-filled. It wasn't scary. And, you know, the sci-fi elements felt very, very forced from my perspective. So this is a real oddity, this one. Very confused and a very, very messy film to watch. It's not one, unfortunately, I can recommend, to be honest. There's just not enough there, really, to hold an audience. So thanks for checking out this review. I will, of course, be back with plenty more reviews and content on the channel very, very soon.